Okay, just picture this for a second. You're in that final review meeting. Your team's new service is right on the edge of going live. Everyone's hyped, but you can feel that one tense question hanging in the air. You know, the one that decides if all that hard work pays off right now or if you're all heading back to the drawing board.
And here it is. Is it really ready? I don't mean, does it work on my machine ready? I mean, is it ready for the absolute chaos and total unpredictability of the real world, with real users clicking on everything? Answering that question with 100% confidence, well, that's one of the toughest parts of this job.
And that's exactly where this idea comes into play, the observability gate. Think of it as the last, non-negotiable quality checkpoint. It's like the bouncer at the club door of production, and if your service doesn't have the right credentials, trust me, it is not getting in. So, how do you actually get past this gate? Well, it's not about some 1,000-page rulebook. It's all about a simple but really powerful blueprint that's built on 4 key pillars. Let's dig into what that blueprint actually is. Here it is, the whole mental model you need. First, you've got critical dashboards. They show you what's happening. Next, structured logs. They help you figure out why it's happening. Then there's minimal tracing, which lets you follow the story of a request across your whole system. And finally, key alerts, which are designed to tell you exactly when you need to pay attention. Let's see how this plays out in a real-world review. All right, to make this really hit home, we're going to run through a mock gate review. I want you to imagine you're right there in the room with me. I'll be playing the role of the senior architect, and we've got a team here presenting their brand new service, which is built on Google Cloud Run for its final go-live approval. Let's see how they do. Okay, so the review kicks off, and the very first question, the most important one, is always about visibility. If your service is just a black box, that is a massive red flag right out of the gate. I need to see the vital signs. So the team pulls up their dashboard, and we start digging in. Now, this is where it gets really interesting. What this reveals is critical. Look, they've got the basics, request counts, CPU utilization. That's good, it's a start. But they are completely blind to the things that actually hurt the user. What percentage of API calls are just failing? How slow is the experience for their unluckiest users? That's what P99 latency tells you, the experience of that 1% who are having a really bad time. And what about the services they depend on? Are they even up? This is a huge, huge blind spot. So to dig deeper, we have to look at the logs. A dashboard might tell you there's a problem, but the logs tell you the story behind that problem. And for that story to be even remotely useful, the requirement is crystal clear. Your logs have to be structured, machine-readable, and they must have correlation IDs to connect all the dots. And this just illustrates the difference perfectly. On the left, you've got what I like to call a log as a story. It's just a jumble of text. You can't search it effectively, you can't filter it, and you definitely can't build metrics from it. But on the right, you have data. It's structured. Every field has a purpose. I can instantly search for all logs with an error severity, or, and this is the magic part, I can use that trace ID to see the entire journey of a single user's request. It's night and day. This is the key question I'd pose to the team, and the answer is simple, right? You can't. You're just left guessing, trying to piece together timestamps from different services, and basically just hoping for the best. In a modern microservices world, that is just not going to cut it when something breaks at 2 a.m. Which leads us perfectly into our next pillar, tracing. Now, let's be clear. This doesn't mean you have to trace every single function call inside your code. That's just overkill. Minimal effective tracing is all about being strategic. You add it at the front door of your service and at every back door where you call out to another service. This gives you a fantastic high-level map of the request flow and, crucially, where all the time is being spent. All right, let's move on to the final check, alerts. You know, the whole point of an alert is to tell a human being, hey, stop what you're doing, this is important. If you have too many of them, they just turn into background noise, and the really critical signals, they get totally lost. And this chart just says it all, doesn't it? Take a look at the bar on the left. The team has 25 different alerts set up, but the real goal, what we actually want, is what you see on the right, just a handful of high-signal, actionable alerts. Is our error rate too high? Is latency spiking? Is the whole system about to fall over? That's really it. It's all about quality over quantity. So there we have it. We've gone through all 4 pillars. We've definitely seen some good stuff, but we've also uncovered some really critical gaps. So now comes the moment of truth. We have to make the call. The team's on the edge of their seats, just waiting. Is the service going live today or not? Based on everything we've just seen, what would your decision be? The verdict is a no-go, and it's so important to stress this. This is not a failure.
Not at all. It's a safety mechanism. What we just did was prevent a future production incident, a future all-nighter for the on-call engineer, and a future terrible experience for our users. So, we need to be really clear about why. These are the absolute non-negotiable launch blockers. You simply cannot go live if you're blind to user-facing errors and latency. You can't go live if your logs are a dead end. You can't go live if you can't trace your most critical workflows. And you absolutely cannot go live if you don't even know what constitutes an emergency. This right here is the bare minimum. And if you ever need to justify putting a process like this in place, just remember the number on the screen, 1. It only takes one major customer-impacting outage to make everyone realize that launching fast is not the same as launching well. Being proactive here saves so much pain down the road. So I'll leave you with this one question. As you think about your own projects, the stuff you're working on right now, take a look at this checklist and ask yourself honestly, where are our gaps? Because finding them now, before you launch, is the single smartest move you can possibly make.